We only use comedians of the highest caliber, those that know the answers to some of life's questions.
I don't know. Anyway, I am woman, I am earth, I am sky, I am sea, I am life.
That have a grip on reality and their lines.
I'm not making it up as you go along. I'm not making it
and totally trust their equipment.
Take all the monitors down, please.
For a really great night out, stay in for Viva Cabaret, Friday at 10:30 on 4.
The lines are definitely drawn when Alicia meets her prospective stepmother, flying blind in 50 minutes. First on 4, it's time to bear all down in the naked city.
To the Naked City. Good evening and welcome to Naked City. I'm Johnny Vaughan.
I'm Caitlin Moran.
In a former life, I was Vlad the Impaler, scourge of the Balkans.
And I was Topo Gigi, the popular comedy mouse.
And at this stage, I think that's all you need to know. On your Naked City tonight, give your preconceptions to the rag and bone man as we put the gay into reggae with an exclusive report on Fagamuffin. Toss your prejudices in the bottle bank as we get Damon from Blur talking sex, drugs and dog racing. Melt down your ideas for scrap. We ask if music is the food of love, then is poetry the new rock and roll? Blow the cobwebs from your lug holes with the Manic Street Preachers and rappers Honky live in the studio. Plus the wisdom of Smiley, the wit of Collins and Maconie, and who's in the house? Watch your Naked City tonight. I couldn't be happier if I was naked and doing it. Now, there's a lot of things synonymous with ragamuffin. Baggy trousers, big gold rings, shabaracks. But one thing that doesn't normally spring to mind, ragga-wise, is homosexuality. Have a look at this. Ragga has become infamous for its rough, tough attitude to big-bottom girls.
Take it off. We did.
And thanks to Buju Banton, it's also been heavily criticised for its even rougher, sometimes violent attitude towards gay men, known as Batibwais. Surprisingly, every Friday in a Brixton club called Pressure Zone, groups of gay black men dress up in ragamuffin style and bogle to hardcore macho dancehall, all thanks to DJ Chris McCoy.
Well, there wasn't a black, lesbian and gay club full stop. A club playing soul music, garage music, good ragga music or whatever, and the gay scene at all, so it was definitely needed.
Pressure Zone regulars like Curtis have been dubbed Fagamuffins. For them, the music is all that matters.
Most of the gay people, especially the black ones, they don't really check for the lyrics. They just go for the music. But with me, I go for the lyrics. I check for the lyrics how I really dance too, but I love reggae, regardless of Buju Banton.
But this new Fagamuffin phenomenon has upset many on the more traditional black gay scene.
These lyrics are offensive to gay people, and if you're gay, then I don't see how you could actually enjoy those kind of lyrics.
But anti-ragga gays do see the attraction.
Gay black men identify with it in a way, in a macho way that straight black men do, you know, that they feel virile and they feel very strong.
Some black gays don't feel threatened by ragga's homophobia and think it's singled out unfairly for criticism.
When Boom Bad Bye come out, I must admit I find it kind of funny. I don't admire it, but at least he has expressed it on record. Since they've expressed it on record, I now, as a political person or as a black person, can deal with that.
New ragga stars like Mega Banton have learned that the anti-gay tip can be counterproductive and keep their homophobia safely tucked away in the closet.
When I heard about Buju Banton thing now, I said, what? You know, I look back and I said, Chuck, I don't really want them things to happen to me, because my career I head for, you know, top thing I head for seeing. So I said, I just put them things aside and allow that.
Ragga may have become a taboo, but for many black gay men, traditional gay culture can be every bit as oppressive.
We're not about Kylie Minogue or high energy or hands in the air, you know? This is what we're about, ragga, swings, this is where we're coming from. That's our cultural base. So a lot of us are Jamaicans, this is what we were growing up with.
It's extraordinary. Did you see? Amazing, the things we have on this show. This is a groundbreaking show. If it's got talent oozing from its every pore, chances are you can bet your budgie it's on the Naked City.
And this week is no exception, because with a brand new and almost heartbreakingly exclusive faster, it's...
The Manic Street Preachers! Sounding good, looking forward to the big set. And if half an hour of the Manic Street Preachers is your thing, please watch our sister show, Butt Naked, very late on Friday nights. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And who hosts that show? Why, Smiley. How's a bite ye?
Oh, festival season is with us, and today I'm in Hackney for the Hackney Homeless Festival, highlighting the fact that there's 868,000 empty properties in this country. There's loads of homeless people who live in shop doorways. People who are into house music don't even have a fucking house. People into garage music but don't even know what a garage looks like. This is what it's all about. People here to enjoy themselves, have a good time, and give us a friggin' roof over our heads for a change, eh? What is all that about?
It's about having a good time, that's all.
Are you just going out with each other? So what happens when you're giving each other the tongue when you're snogging?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a whole new sexual experience.
Is it? Oh, hi. Hey.
Hello.
What are you doing here today?
Boo and hiss.
This is the Cat Cat corner. The Roshers are nailed to the floor. Where did you get that hat?
It's a tea cozy.
Is this music hard enough for you? Excuse me, madam, what is going on?
I represent Red Umbrella Tours.
Do you?
I give good tours.
You give a good tour. Oh, ooh, matron.
He takes drugs, just leave him out, okay? No, take him with us. No, leave him out.
Hello.
Oh my God, hello, my darling. You having a good time?
I'm having a wonderful time. Are you enjoying yourself?
I am. I was a bit wasted before, but I've like sobered up a bit now.
Another advert from Smiley's people. Keep the faith and free the nation. Even though some of these people might have a roof over their head, one thing's for sure, they sure have a sense of community. And that's the main thing after all, isn't it? I'm gonna have a party. See you later.
Smiley there talking to some people who are definitely not in the house. Wait a second. That reminds me, hang on. Who's in the house? Who's in the house? It's Kim Mazelle and Jocelyn Brown. Lovely to have you here.
Wow, look at this.
Wow. Reception. I'll tell you what, they're frisky tonight, this lot.
Oh,
frisky, yeah. And what are you going to be singing for us tonight?
We're going to do a little something different. We're covering another song by Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, what's it called?
Do Right One.
Oh, it's one of my favourites. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Mazelle and Jocelyn Brown.
Take me to heart. Oh, and I'll always love you. And nobody can make me do wrong. Take me for granted. Unshown, baby, makes willpower weak. Oh, yeah. And temptation strong. Yeah, tell me, girl. See, a woman's only human. You should understand. Oh, she's not just a plaything, baby. She's flesh and blood, just like a man. If you wanna do right all day, woman, a woman, you gotta be a but you can't prove that by me. Yeah. As long as we're together, baby, you got to show some respect for me. Yeah. If you wanna do right all day, woman. If you want a woman, you gotta be a do right all night, man. Say it one more time. Say one more. You do right
stuff. What can I say? We're astonished. Time to hand over the cat, I think.
All right, darling. And there we go.
Caitlin!
Thanks, Johnny. Don't they make a gorgeous and parroting trio? Now, even with their new LP, Park Life, shifting more copies than a crack-fueled photocopier, Blur are still finding time in their lives for the beautiful things. For instance, getting drunk on lager, going to music-based parties, and taking other people's cabs home. But all this hedonistic lifestyle has led their lead singer, Damon Albarn, to a little bit pale and pasty recently. So we found a park bench, got a bit of country air down his lungs, and pinned him down on a couple of the tricky questions in life. Like who's going to win in the 4th race at Walthamstow Dogs?
Hello, can I have a fiver on number 5, please?
As far as the sweepstake on who's king in the world of British pop music goes, the bookies are pursing their lips and, with scarcely a glance at the form, they're telling the punters that the only contenders are Pulp, Suede and Blur in a Britpop 3-dog race. Now, on the album, you've got pictures of dog racing, and you had your album launch at a dog race.
Yeah.
What's the appeal?
It's just another facet of park life, really. The dogs. The night out factor of it. And you can eat and you can have a drink and watch dogs going around in a circle.
Right! No! No! You can't do that on our race!
And it's not just the dogs who don't like him. Blur seem to be one of the most hated bands by other bands in Britain. I mean, Primal Scream don't like you, Suede hate you, and you hate Suede. What do you think this is?
I don't hate Suede at all.
All right.
I just was, you know, I felt put out.
Maybe that's because Damon's new girlfriend is Justine from Elastica, who used to be in Suede and had more than just a working relationship with Brett. Was that in any way fueled because Justine used to go out with Brett?
Well, what do you think, you know? I mean, it's a very basic sort of thing, you know. I was just, you know.
There were various rumours flying around that, for instance, the song Animal Lover was written about you.
Well, there's no doubt that the majority of the songs on that first album are about either Justine or me. I mean, no question. I mean, I was sort of around when they were written, when Justine was still in the band. I used to go to a gig, and it was very embarrassing. But in his defence, he was definitely singing about real things. I mean, you know, I think he's the genuine article. It's just, it was difficult for me personally because I could only see it as a sort of bitter boyfriend with a bit of a vendetta.
Damon was recently voted Most Fanciable Man by Just 17 magazine. But how does he rate against Jarvis from Pulp and Brett from Suede?
Well, the other two make a thing of being sexy, don't they? That's sort of part of their image, isn't it? Sex. So they must be. I've taken my trousers down on stage and my pants.
Why was that?
But I was so embarrassed once I'd done it, and everyone seemed so unimpressed. I sort of just crawled off stage.
Don't worry, Damon. To those in the back row, it was probably just a fuzzy little blur.
Damon from Blur there, he seems like a nice lad. Now, just to quell the tide of letters and save you all the price of a stamp, the videos that accompany our They Might Be Giants new band section are all made by the Naked City. That's it. There's no big company behind them. They're made by the Naked City. In fact, I make them myself, on my own, pay for them out of my own pocket. There's no financial remuneration whatsoever. I just do it out of love. And you know why? Because I love checking out a bit of talent. Have a look at this.
Hey, Pop Kids. Basically, we're a band called Rub Ultra from London. What we're doing here today is we're having a strange experiment with photocopy fish laundry. You know it makes sense. Drink lots of beer and take drugs. Have a cool time.
London-based five-piece Rub Ultra describe themselves as testosterone crackle with a female underbelly. They claim that aliens attend their concerts and tell us that their ambition is to give music liquid boots. Naked City says it was never like this with Jerry and the Pacemakers, probably.
Liquid feed, we're denying excessive.
And if you're videoing the show and you spool that last bit back, you notice the lead singer of Rub Ultra starts off the video wearing a wristwatch, but at the end, he loses it. I'm sorry about that. As I say, it's only my fault because only I made it. Now, this is my dog, Quality Late-Night Television. And if Quality could speak, he'd say to you, in part 2, we've got Honky playing live, more Manic Street Preaching, Collins and Maconie, and we look at the new rock and roll this week, it's poetry. And we might even have a mystery guest. Move at your peril. Quality, fetch.
However good you look, there's always room for a little improvement.
Nicole?
Papa? Now with even more refinement, the new generation clear.
New Yardley with camellia extract to give you care and colour combined. New Yardley. You could hardly be in better hands.
There's no law against being unusual. Being unusual gives you something to compare with the usual. See what works best for you.
Legitima.
So, how was your stag do then?
Fine.
I'm just glad no one had a camera.
Kodak fun cameras. Take pictures where you wouldn't take a camera.
From the producer of Aliens and the Terminator.
Somebody taught him how to kill.
Ray Liotta.
You want it? Come and get it!
No escape.
Coming up in part 2, live music and chat from the Manic Street Preachers, live laughter from the Collins and Maconie, a mountain of verse and a mystery guest, the Naked City. Kids go mental for it. Do you realise, Caitlin, we're halfway through the show and halfway through the series?
We've steered this ship through deep and interesting waters, Vaughnie.
That's exactly what I said to my newsagent.
Extraordinary.
I know, and do you know what he said to me?
40 Marlboro Light and a jazz mag?
Nope. He said, I don't care who you are, shoplifting is shoplifting. Here's Honky.
Here we go with the show. But there's something you ought to know about some brothers who are white as snow and won't let it go. Tear it up, let's 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 tear it up. I remember when I was so tall, in the days we used to play ball, when all the people you thought were friends would entertain you now and again. Show respect and they betray you, kick their backside, they will obey you. Situation that's 7 to 1, get you thinking, what have I done wrong?
It's in a mirror.
Where did I go wrong?
Look in the mirror.
Shit, but all I see is the beauty within me. Black is black, that my papa to send me. Racial jazz, your humor is sick. Don't put your effort in the bin. That's all I see, all I see, all I see is the beauty within. They go boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom, tra-la-la, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom. Whatever lets you down, boom boom, tra-la-la. they go boom boom. Tra-la-la, boom boom. Tra-la-la, they go boom boom. So let them get you down. Tear it up, let's 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 tear it up. Who's living in harmony in the street where the blacks and whites meet, and the sun just shine every day of the week. And if you take your time, the birds tweet, and everything's so fine, sugar sweet. Yeah, yeah. Such a rude awakening as I try to sleep. Yeah, yeah. Get my window breaking. What have I done wrong? It's in the mirror. Where did I go wrong? Look in the mirror. Shocking up vanilla for the umpteenth time. If they got a problem, here's a big B sign. Life is a crime, things take time. So don't give it up as though you're blind. Cause all I see, all I see, all I see is a brother of mine. They go boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom, tra-la-la, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom. Whatever let you down, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom, tra-la-la, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom. Whatever let you down, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom, tra-la-la, boom boom, tra-la-la, they go boom boom. Whatever let you down, tear it up, let's 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 tear it up, boom.
Honky there, intense, brooding, haunting, sinister even. So much so, I'm in need of gratuitous humour. So what do? Simple. I point my finger at the gods and I say as I chuckle, it's Collins and Maconie with the Hipster's Guide.
Hello, and welcome to the Hipster's Guide, a weekly look at what's moist and fragrant in the world of rock and roll.
Well, what's on the agenda this week, Stuart?
Well, as you can see, I'm dressed in the distinctive garb of one of Britain's fastest-growing youth cults, the New Age Traveller. I'm dressed in what I mistakenly believed to be the garb of the New Age Traveller, one of Britain's fastest-growing youth cults.
Society today, what is it good for? Birth, school, work, death? What a bummer.
School's all right.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Arts and football's quite good. When you play football.
Work can be okay if you get an intrinsically satisfying, well-paid job with decent holidays and a good pension scheme.
Yeah, true. But death, that's no fun, is it?
No way.
No wonder so many young people are seeking an alternative lifestyle.
The alternative lifestyle of the New Age Traveller, an anarchic, nomadic existence that involves dropping out of society.
Dropping out of society is no picnic, because it involves the total rejection of all the material trappings of modern-day life.
But here's some things you will need in order to successfully drop out of society. Number 1, an accordion.
Number 2, a wigwam.
Number 3, a disused ambulance with a big A in a circle on the side.
Number 4, one of those spinning top things that you throw in the air and catch on a bit of string between two sticks.
Diablos.
No, it's true.
There's only one way of life, and that's your own.
There's only one way of life, and that's your own, that's your own, that's your own, that's your own.
Well, so say New Age Traveller figurehead group Levellers.
Now, Levellers used to live on a bus, advocate a strictly anti-establishment stance, and denounce organised festivals, such as Glastonbury.
Now, of course, they play Glastonbury, make lots of money, live in a mansion on the Isle of Wight, and play that kind of commercial, watered-down jazz-funk music.
That's Levellers 42.
Is it? Oh, beg your pardon.
So, you've got together with your New Age muckers, you're going to get out there and sing some folk songs around some burning tyres, park up in a lay-by in Wiltshire for 6 months of the year, and go to the toilet in Bracken.
All the while preventing the police from doing really important work like catching serial killers.
That's right. So before you go, run through this handy Hipster's Guide checklist. Make sure that number 1, you've got the video set for Brookside.
Number 2, you've packed your hooker, chillum or bong.
And number 3, that your parents are really well off. Just in case. Back to Johnny.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Collins and Maconie there, funnier than the Russian alphabet. Time now for me to say, who's in the house? Who's in the house? It's Mr. Albarn. Oh, superb. You'll have to come down here here. I'm not allowed to move. Just great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Great to have you here.
Even greater to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Misty Oldland.
We are family. Got my brothers with me. We are family. Oh, everyone can see we're together as we walk on by, and we fly just like birds of a feather. I will tell no lie. All the people around us to say, can we be that close? Just let me stay for the record. Oh, give love and a family dose. We are family, yeah, yeah, yeah. Brothers and my sisters with me, yeah, yeah. We are family, yeah. Get up everybody and sing. Oh, have faith in you and the things you do. Oh, no, no. Hey, have faith in you and the things you do. Oh, no. We are family. I got my sisters with me. Hey, we are family. Get up everybody and sing. Sing it to me. Have faith in you and the things you do. Oh, yeah. I got my family. Oh, oh, yeah. We are
Sounding marvellous. Sounding marvellous.
Is that all right, Terry?
Oh, that's brilliant. Me and the band are going to get down to a bit of freeform jazz funk now, so we'll hand you over to Caitlin.
Thank you, Johnny. And by the way, you smell gorgeous tonight, Pet. Now, we're joined by the only two living legends who are actually still alive, Richie and Nicky from the Manic Street Preachers. Welcome to the Naked City.
Hi.
Richie, Nicky.
Yeah.
First of all, did you have time to wash before you came up here?
You make us sound like levels or something.
It's okay. I've got a couple of damp tissues under here if you want to give yourself a wipe down afterwards. Now, you've recently become involved in the renewed anti-Nazi league. And is that something you feel very strongly about?
I think it's just of crucial importance. You know, I studied history, all my life. It's the most horrific event in world history, something you've just got to be prepared to say what you think.
We just want to do it. It's just important and just to make a point.
Morrissey recently said that he thought the BNP had an equal right to a platform for speech as any other political party. I mean, would you agree with that?
I just think when they do speak, they make themselves look such idiots that people automatically turn against them. I mean, Morrissey's just a sad old bit of man and he'll do anything to get press. You know, he just likes irritating people. I think you've got to understand his mind, that he's done everything. He thinks he's done everything. He's got utter respect from, every person, every journalist, so he just does it to irritate people.
I think the saddest thing is he wouldn't actually talk to anybody about it,
Yeah.
I mean, he must be quite scared. I don't think he's got a logical argument about what he said. I think he's just probably terrified.
It's the long line of sort of pathetic British gestures, the David Bowie Hitler salutes, all that crap. It's just it's a rock star thing. I want to be misunderstood, It's an appalling thing to say, and it's just the way what he is, I think, now, what he's become.
You've always spent most of your career slagging off other bands. It's always been sort of like, a quick put down for any band that are popular at the time. Are there any bands you actually like at the moment?
I think slagging people down has probably been 90% down for me. It's just because I've got an uncontrollable mouth and a desire to be hated.
I quite like Red House Painters at the moment. I think they're a pretty good group.
Confused?
Yeah, seriously, I think they're a brilliant group. And Alice in Chains, they're my two tape machines
I
at the
quite like
moment.
Will Radley's, actually.
All right. Well, I'm going to go away and listen to all that music that you've recommended. I think you probably need a wash or something. And I'm going to hand us over back to Johnny now. Vaughnie!
As a yachtsman, I'm often asked how I while away a long passage. The answer, shipmates, is poetry, which is why I was so delighted when I heard that this week poetry has been proclaimed the new rock and roll. I donned my 100% polyester network blazer and went in search of a good old rhyme. Since the dawn of language, thousands of years before the advent of pen and ink, man's always had a bit of a soft spot for some poetry. Shh! And now this, the most ancient form of lyrical expression, is enjoying something of a resurgence. Some media commentators are even calling it the new rock and roll.
I've told you once before, out, and take your film crew with you.
Sorry. So if poetry is the new rock and roll, a claim that hip magazines are making, then it's up to me to go and find the new trembling spirit of poetry. Time to seek expert advice from a poet.
Poetry don't have to be living in a library. There's poetry that you can see in the life of everybody.
Expert rhyme master John Hegley drew me a picture, then asked me to write a poem about it. There's yellow squiggles on a pavement, and I've a good idea what they meant. A circle containing bird turd should make this week's a hellish mission for quality late-night television.
Like it. You need that unspoken odour, the stench.
So what should I do?
Go and listen to small poems, some other people doing it. Listen before you glisten. Don't snub the poetry club.
Let's do it in leather, handcuffs and leg irons. Let's do it in leather, ignore those police sirens.
Poetry, this must be the place.
Sling, let's do it in leather. Your buttocks will sing.
Good Lord.
Crackle, clatter and pop. Pop, pop, pop. A pop,
Shocking.
pop. A pecker, pickle, banani. A banani, onion, faji. A scarlet, people, pop. A crackle, pepper.
There's more to this poetry lark than meets the eye. For a start, I seem to have two members of the Sandals lodged in my psyche with rhythm and verse.
Move it, that's the mountain.
I'm getting higher, higher, higher.
Major. Dilemma.
Like war gone mad, I got a hole right there. Tongue.
Get it?
So what do I do to start my journey into poetry?
Step out of the program.
Right. You know, step out of the uniform.
Don't take all the bull on board. Free your head. Get a song.
Suddenly, everything was clear. I knew what I had to do. Hello, is that the Naked City? It's Johnny. No, just calling to hand in my resignation. Perfectly happy, thank you. Now to write some poems. Without my uniform and job, the sluice gates of my imagination became wide open and the poetry was flooding out. But there were other changes.
What's happening to me? Great facial hair.
Oh, just a place for workers shackled by uniforms. My uniform is gone, ha ha, he, ministry of uniformity. What is a sheep with no wool or eyes? A cold soup or Sunday lunch? Kebab or brunch? The crunch? Not quite. Bah, bah. The end. That's it. That's it. What are you doing? Don't go back to work. Take off your uniform. Write poems. Come back. I've got to just say, Caitlin, that's one of the most interesting and revealing reports I've ever had the pleasure to work on.
Yes, indeedy, Vaughny. You didn't look at all yawny.
Oh, skill, Caitlin, that's what you should have been in the piece. On next week's show, we've got the charlatans, we've got kung fu fighting rap style, and we've got some top models, a singing and a dancing.
Plus, I'll be constructing a box girder bridge over the Murray Forth River with country sensation Garth Brooks and the Sisters of Mercy.
And I'll be inserting a three-masted schooner into a whiskey bottle with a little bit of help from glamour couple Michael Hutchence and Jive Bunny. But until then, she's Caitlin Moran.
I'm Caitlin Moran.
That was The Naked City, and these are the Manic Street Preachers.
This place is crowded, so alone. But tell me something worth waiting for. There's nothing else in my head. You're the one who took it all away. A record sail spinning the smoke. I can't tell if it's real or not. I can't walk in a straight line.
Naked City returns next Wednesday at its regular time of 11:05.